So guys, welcome to episode 15 of our Aston Martin Save. Now I know what you've come to watch today. You've come to watch Sebastian Vettel spin out in another Grand Prix, but hopefully not, because we've got a new underfloor development that's now come to light. Emergency manufacturing to get it on in time for the Dutch Grand Prix in Zandvoort in 2 days. I love this Grand Prix in real life. The colour, the energy, the music, everything's spot on the Dutch Grand Prix. And we're going to have a brand new underfloor. And if we have a look on the right-hand side of the screen, we can see that it takes our low-speed cornering up to 11th best on the grid in the Car 1 performance. Both cars will have this on. And it does help us in the dirty air cornering as well. And it also helps us in acceleration a little bit. So this could be quite a big development for us. And hopefully it'll stop Sebastian Vettel from spinning off. And along from car developments, we've also brought in an improved weather centre. We're going to upgrade that. 2.1 million, takes 35 days. Hopefully will help us out with strategy, which we've needed at times during the season, and we're certainly going to need towards the end of the season if we're going to pick up any more points and reach the board expectation of 8th place. So weather centre, that's coming too. And as previously mentioned, it is the Dutch Grand Prix this weekend. The circuit Zandvoort, love this Grand Prix. 1957, the first Grand Prix here, 72 laps around the circuit, 4.25 kilometres, lap record held by Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion. The expected strategy is a one-stop from mediums onto hards. You can possibly use a soft onto hards as well. Car attributes, medium and high-speed cornering, acceleration important. But we're going to be a little bit more competitive, hopefully, with the underfloor that we've got on. So I'm now going to get through the practice sessions, and then we will see you in qualifying, where we're going to try and get one car through to Q2. Try being the keyword.
It's another historic weekend of Formula One here at Zandvoort. The track has seen many unforgettable moments, like Gilles Villeneuve's three-wheeled lap at the 1979 Dutch Grand Prix, which cost him victory. What excitement lies ahead this year? There's never a dull moment at Circuit Zandvoort. It's fast, very fast, with long straights and wide curves. But it also features 2 heavy banked corners, where aerodynamic improvements are sure to help our drivers. This is it. We're down to the last few races of the season, and it's time for that final push. Who will be crowned champion at the end of it all? We'll find out soon enough. Let's get this underway.
Right, we did go out a little bit earlier because, as you can see in the top right-hand side, we have got a chance of rain. Now, currently we are sat 17th and 18th, our favourite positions on the grid, but a chance of rain in 1 minute. We thought, let's get out. If it starts raining, obviously the lap times aren't going to be quite as good. So maybe, just maybe, we can steal the march on guys in front. But obviously Sebastian Vettel did traffic there, which is not ideal for Sebastian at all. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll's also encountering traffic. So it might not have pulled out too well for us. But if we have a look at the timings, we're not miles away for a change. We have been at times miles away. The rain is very much coming, but it doesn't look like our 2 guys are going to improve. Sebastian Vettel needs to refuel, which is not ideal. I'm guessing that's just because he's heading to the garage. So Sebastian Vettel's failed to improve. If we have a look at Lance Stroll, he's coming around the final bend. Can he improve around here now? As Lance Stroll comes up to the line, does he improve? He doesn't. He doesn't improve. 17th and 18th for our guys at best. We thought we'd try and beat the weather, and if we fast forward it through now, it's not the greatest qualifying, but I think the thing to be cautiously optimistic about is the fact that if we do have a look on that left-hand side, we are not as far away as we normally are, and it is more bunched up, so maybe we can make some moves and do alright on Sunday. It's more in hope than expectation, but let's get to the race. Let's finish Q1. I think we're all pretty much done in Q1 now. We are 17th and 18th. We had a decent practice session. If you were looking for Sebastian Vettel to crash, don't worry, he has already. I didn't quite catch it on record, but he has already smashed one front wing up this weekend. Let's see if he can do another. I'm betting he will on Sunday. So then, quick look at the strategies. Lance Stroll is going to be on the alternate strategy. He's going to be on the hard compounded tyre. Practice 1 did very well on the hard compound, was pretty quick, so we're going to keep him on that, see how long he can make them last, and then swap onto the fresher mediums at the end. Sebastian Vettel starting on the medium, going onto the hards. 17th for Sebastian Vettel. Hopefully they can both push, make some moves early. There has been a few crashes in practice. That might happen again in the Grand Prix. Maybe a couple of safety cars to help us out. But let's get to 5 headlights and see what our guys can do.
And there's Sebastian Vettel. With their starting position in the back 10, they'll have their work cut out for them. There's Lance Stroll, down the grid. They're in the back half of the pack, so they'll need to work hard if they want a podium finish. The race start is mere seconds away. Here we go. It's the Dutch Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
And away we go, and straight away we are going to ride on board with Sebastian Vettel. Hopefully looking for a good start. He's starting behind Pierre Gasly. Max Verstappen was on pole at his own Grand Prix and leads around the first bend. Lance Stroll just tucking in behind there. And he has actually dropped behind the Williams of Alexander Albon, who is on the soft compound tyre. But we will switch to television view now and see if we possibly can. There we go, Sebastian Vettel. P16 already made up a place on Pierre Gasly. Good start for Sebastian Vettel. Lance Stroll obviously running a little bit longer on the hard compounded tyre. Fuel hasn't been too much of an issue around this circuit all afternoon, all weekend even. It's been quite decent, the fuel usage, so I'm hoping we can rely on that, lean on the fuel a little bit, and hopefully Lance Stroll can lean on the tyres. He's already trying to get back past Alexander Albon on that soft compounded tyre, but Lance Stroll has got the pace with the new side pods and doing fantastically well. Meanwhile, at the front, Carlos Sainz has overtaken Max Verstappen, the homegrown man, who's going around the final couple of bends now on lap 1. Carlos Sainz leads from Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc in 3rd, Perez 4th. Then come the 2 Mercedes in Russell and Hamilton, Ricciardo and Norris 7th and 8th, Esteban Ocon P9, and then Kevin Magnussen rounding off the top 10. But Sebastian Vettel hanging on nicely, already overtook one AlphaTauri and looking to make a move on another in Yuki Tsunoda in front, all bunched up rather nicely. Lance Stroll as well, looking pretty comfortable on that hard compounded tyre. He has done all weekend. Lap 2, not the worst start for our guys. We are battling pretty well here. Sebastian Vettel, who already overtook one AlphaTauri on this lap and then went for the move on Mick Schumacher with DRS and into turn 1 and got the move done, looking pretty quick on the medium compounded tyre. Sebastian Vettel, our guys in the garage can't believe what we're seeing. He's managing to keep it on the track, which is the main thing, but he's also now up into P14, but there is a bit of a gap between him and Valtteri Bottas. The guys at the back, the 6 to 8 cars at the back, have really been in his own little battle, but Sebastian Vettel is winning that battle at this moment in time. Meanwhile, if we have a look at Lance Stroll doing pretty well, just hanging on to the back of these guys. AlphaTauri in front of him, Pierre Gasly on the medium compounded tyre. Remember, Lance Stroll on the hard compounded tyre. He's got longer to go than these guys in front of him and doing pretty well at the moment. The tyre wear is about right for what we're expecting, and the same way as Sebastian Vettel, both on aggressive, but both doing particularly well. Meanwhile, at the front, Max Verstappen still leading this Grand Prix now in P1, but he has got 2 very quick Ferraris behind him, and one of those guys is Carlos Sainz. Can he make a move into turn 1? He can't. He's right up the gearbox of Max Verstappen. Leclerc not far behind, and Sergio Perez a little bit further back in P4. Then there is a bit of a gap to the 2 Mercedes boys. Sebastian Vettel's got his work cut out as well down this start finish straight, and I think we're going to see Mick Schumacher overtake Sebastian Vettel into turn 1. Sebastian does try and hold him off, but can't quite manage it. Not too much of a problem at this moment in time, and Lance Stroll just keeping those tyres nice and fresh, leading on to Pierre Gasly, hanging on to the back of these guys. Lance Stroll not looking in a bad position on lap 12. Lap 18, there's been a spin, and for a change, it's not Sebastian Vettel, it's Alexander Albon spinning out just behind his teammate Nicholas Latifi. The Williams guys not doing particularly well in this race at all. If we have a look, Sebastian Vettel very much still leading this train. Lance Stroll still in P18. I'm quite comfortable with Lance Stroll in P18 at this moment in time. He's got another, 20 laps to go on these tyres. He's doing okay, can't be complained about at all. We've still got fully RS. If Sebastian did really want to push it, that may be an option we can have a look at. In fact, we're going to put Sebastian on defend down this next straight and see what he can do. But Lance Stroll doing a fantastic job at this moment in time. We'll ride on the board with Sebastian Vettel as we have a look at the very quick pass in a straight line. It is very quick in a straight line. We are going to come to circuits that are more suited to us with our low cornering speed. Mick Schumacher just managed to get past hopefully we're going to avoid Yuki Tsunoda. We are keeping us cool. Sebastian Vettel looking pretty decent for P14, P15 today. Don't write off Lance Stroll. Could be a decent Grand Prix for him as well. Car in the wall, and there is a yellow flag. We are going to get a replay. Lance Stroll still down in P18. Sebastian Vettel in P15. Guan Yu Zhou's joined this little train now, and it is Esteban Ocon who has crashed. He's wheel to wheel with the McLaren, and what's happened here? And he's just hit the wall, and to be fair, that's a pretty bad one. I'd be expecting possibly a safety car here. No, we've avoided a safety car, which is not fantastic for us. We could have really done with a safety car right about now, especially for Sebastian Vettel. But lap 25, Sebastian Vettel very much still in it, as is Lance Stroll, holding on to the back of these guys on the hard compounded tyre. If we have a look at the front, Max Verstappen now broke the DRS of the Ferrari behind him in Carlos Sainz. Sergio Perez running in P3 and attacking P2 at this moment in time. Then comes the two Mercedes, Ricciardo in P7, Alonso P8, Norris in P9, and Valtteri Bottas doing very well and showing a good amount of pace in this Dutch Grand Prix. Lap 29, and I've just got to show you this train that we're involved in. Yuki Tsunoda is leading it. Sebastian Vettel is coming in anytime soon. He's just using the last ounces of tread and energy in those tyres. He's hanging onto the back of these guys in front. He's got the DRS open and doing okay at this moment in time. Lance Stroll's still holding on as well. This is the battle. We've got a few guys pitting. Sebastian is doing well. And there comes Lando Norris into the thick of it as well. So we're going to continue getting this DRS at this moment in time. We'll stick with it as long as we possibly can. But Sebastian Vettel going for a move on the McLaren there of Lando Norris. Did he manage to get it done? He didn't.
You did a good job.
But still doing okay. Lance Stroll has got a very quick Kevin Magnussen. I think Kevin Magnussen is also on the fresher compounded tyre now. He is. He's got fresh hards on. We've got a little bit further to go with Lance Stroll. He's just going to hopefully hang on to the back of him. But Sebastian Vettel is very much in this fight at the moment. Got on pit stop today. P15, P40. He's looking like the maximum today. But Lance Stroll is also having a go back at this Haas, and he'll just keep on chugging away and keeping in that DRS range, as you can see him doing at this moment in time. There's a real train of cars here, and this is only helping our guys at this moment in time. Meanwhile, at the front, Max Verstappen leading, I believe, yet to pit Max Verstappen. Neither is Lewis Hamilton, but Max Verstappen looking nailed on for a win at Zandvoort this afternoon. Lap 32, and Sebastian Vettel is about to come into the pits. He's lost the DRS really of the car in front, and now was the perfect time to pit him. He is on the medium compounded tyre. He's coming in, as is Pierre Gasly, which will release Lance Stroll, which is not ideal actually, because that now loses Lance DRS as well. But Lance is going a little bit longer, as we know, and he has got about another 5 or 6 laps to deal with. Meanwhile, we'll keep an eye on Sebastian's stop. 2.6, not the worst. Have we been jumped in that pit stop? We've been jumped in the pit stops, which is not what we need. Pierre Gasly is coming out onto the hard compounded tyre, as is Sebastian Vettel. So he's now got to stick with these guys and try and keep in that DRS, and first and foremost getting that DRS as well, because he needs to be in that all the way. We'll push on the outlap and see how he gets on. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll now 1.7 seconds behind Kevin Magnussen. He could be losing time here, but we've got to stick with him on these tyres. But the gap we're all interested in is this one between Pierre Gasly and Sebastian Vettel, who is pushing like mad on his outlap to try and get back in the DRS. If he does get back in the DRS, we're laughing. And it looks to me, as he comes around these low speed corners, which is what, remember, we're quite decent at, he looks like he's managed to get back in the DRS range, has he? The rear wing isn't open on Sebastian Vettel's car. Hopefully it will be by the time he gets to the start finish straight. He is pushing at the moment, and that should see him through now. As he comes around this corner, he's back in DRS. We can put him onto standard tyre saving, and he's alright on the fuel as well. So Sebastian Vettel now back in the DRS. We'll be lapping with these cars. I want to see that rear wing opening. Whether that's a glitch or whether it's not working, I'm not too sure, but Sebastian Vettel very much in the mix this afternoon. Lance Stroll now, he's running a bit of a lonely race. I don't believe the medium compounded tyre can go as far as we possibly want to do with Lance Stroll, so that's something to bear in mind. We could actually use Lance Stroll as a bit of a dummy, which he's proved to be on certain occasions so far this year, and hold the cars up behind to bring Sebastian into it, but we'll see how that plays out. Lap 35, and it is an earlier pit stop than planned for Lance Stroll. It was in no man's land what the plan is to get him onto that medium compounded tyre and hopefully just be a bit calmer on the tyres, be a bit kinder and nurse him through to the end. Lance Stroll, it's not been his best performance so far today. Not done too bad, probably a bit of my fault with the strategy. We tried something a little bit different. But Sebastian Vettel, meanwhile that's just happening, we'll have a look at this overtake. Sebastian Vettel's been behind Nick Schumacher and Pierre Gasly, and it looks to me as though he's managed to get Pierre Gasly on the way onto the start finish straight on the inside. Lovely work from Sebastian Vettel, just as Lance Stroll is going to be coming out of the pit lane. Let's see. We all enjoyed that. This man cannot believe it because he's just stunned. He's stunned. He's managed to go around. He even dipped a tyre onto the grass and didn't spin it. What a time to be alive and be a Sebastian Vettel fan and an Aston Martin fan at this moment in time. And he's actually only 1 second away from Yuki Tsunoda. If they can close that gap, things change dramatically for Sebastian Vettel. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll got a bit of work to do, as you would expect on this medium compounded tyre. He's now going to be nursing these towards the end, to be fair. They're going to be about dead by the time he gets to the end, so he's going to be on light. And Lance Stroll relay has just got to hopefully do okay towards the end of this Grand Prix. All our attention is on Sebastian Vettel, and we know what happens when that tends to happen. There tends to be an accident, there tends to be a spin. Safety car won't be the worst thing in the world for us either here. So lap 36, we'll have a look at the front as well. Charles Leclerc is leading, but on more worn compounded tyre. He did pit earlier down at Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen in P2, just 1 second behind and closing the gap as he looks to win his home Grand Prix. 42, Sebastian Vettel's played a blinder here. Are we going to get a double overtake? He gets past one, and then I believe not too long later he dives to this inside, and I believe he gets the next one on the next corner. Let's have a quick look at this. Sebastian Vettel gets one Alpha Tauri, then gets past the other up into P14. Yes, that is our smug face. Love to see it. Sebastian Vettel doing a fantastic job in P14 at this moment in time. If we have a look, we are quick through these low speed corners. This is where we are at our best. Lance Stroll not having a fantastic time, having to nurse these tyres. But we'll continue to work with Sebastian Vettel. P14 would not be a bad result. Safety car changes everything at this moment. Lap 43. 54 and a quick check-in. Sebastian Vettel, he's alright, he's in P17, he's not looking fantastic, but he's hanging on to the back of these guys. He's looking after his tyres, we're alright with fuel, we're saving the DRS a little bit. I reckon by the time we get to the later stages, possibly around lap 68, 70, we're going to have a real push to see if we can get up to P15. That's the aim for today, if we can possibly do that with Sebastian Vettel. In fact, he might fancy making a move on one of them here. He's pulled to the left-hand side. I don't think he's going to get around the outside of Mick Schumacher. He isn't. We have got a yellow flag in Sector 2, and a Sunburn has spun. We'll stick with it. Car in the wall. Yeah. Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion, battling with his teammate. What's he done here? He spun it, shanked it into the wall. Has he managed to get the car going? We don't know. Let's have a look. Just sticking with yellow flags. No safety car. We don't seem to be getting many safety cars at the minute, which is not helping our cause. But Sebastian Vettel, P17, P15 is the aim. If you had to guess, would it be an episode without this happening? Sebastian Vettel is in prime position. He's looking to get towards P15, P14. And what does he do? He locks up, damages the underfloor. I am sick to death of Sebastian Vettel. I think it might be time to consider retiring him early and putting, I don't know, you could put Noddy in car at this moment in time and he'd spin less than this kid. It's unbelievable. I cannot get. The setup is good. He keeps telling me in practice, yes, well done, great guys, well done. I know that's a bad German accent, but look, you're going to have to stick with me here. He keeps telling me the setup's great. He keeps telling me the car's great. Everything's looking comfortable for him. Alright, we're not in the fastest car, but my God, he can't handle a slow one at this moment in time. Never mind a fast one. And look at the bottom left-hand side. It's not as though I'm telling him to really push it and push on fuel and use his ERS and do etc, etc. I'm not. I'm telling him to be steady, just stick behind Yuki Tsunoda, and the job will be a good one. And just for that, Sebastian Vettel, do not fight your teammate. Get out of the way and let Lance Stroll through. That's it. I'm disappointed with you. Massively disappointed with you. Lance Stroll getting towards the end of this Grand Prix now. We're just going to fast forward, get onto the last lap and see who wins it. But I am furious again. And this is all I do every episode. It's just shout at Sebastian Vettel. And with good reason. And it is the final lap of the Grand Prix, and we're going to stick with these two guys, because Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen are battling for this win. Max Verstappen trying to close down that Scuderia Ferrari 0.2 of a second. He's already got the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far this race. Tyre wear, Max Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel. I'll be saying Sebastian Vettel in my dreams or in my nightmares. Max Verstappen has got 3% fresher tyres than Charles Leclerc as he's coming around the final few corners. He will get DRS on Charles Leclerc down this straight. Can he overtake and win his home Grand Prix on the final lap? Max Verstappen is right up the gearbox of the Charles Leclerc in this Scuderia Ferrari as they come round the final couple of corners. How close is this going to be? Max Verstappen, can he get a good run? He looks to get the slipstream. Can he get him? He can't. Charles Leclerc just holds on and wins the Dutch Grand Prix from Max Verstappen in second. Carlos Sainz will come home in third, followed by Sergio Perez in fourth. If you wanted to know where the Aston Martins are, Lance Stroll's tyres are cooked, fair enough. Yes, they are, we don't mind that. He's not having the best of times, Lance Stroll, but I've told Sebastian Vettel he's not allowed to pass him because, if you want better words, he is, well, I can't even say it on YouTube what he is. He's not being very good today. And it's not the fact that he's crap from start to finish, it's the fact that he builds me up just that little bit and then lets me down so badly. Let's just fast forward it. Get to the final, checkered flag, and we'll come back in for the classifications and the Constructors and Drivers Championships. So there we go, guys. We started 17th and 18th, and we finished 17th and 18th. We still beat the Williams every time. In fairness, I think we're very much in it. I think we're very much in this little battle now with the Alpha Tauris and the Haas. I think we can keep up. Do I think we're quicker? No. But I do think we're getting there. We are improving. Next season is the season. These two guys won't be here. But if we have a look at the driver standings, Sebastian Vettel's got 6 points. And yeah, that's about as good as it gets. And then if we have a look at the Constructors, we're still in P9. We're now quite a distance between McLaren and Haas. Unless we manage to win a Grand Prix, which is going to be unlikely. We'll come back for the next one. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. All that good stuff. See you on Tuesday for more Sebastian Vettel spinning into walls.